Virgo, this is the last day of Virgo season, so happy birthday to you. Look, move on, Virgo. It's time for you to move on. Someone is unavailable or emotionally unavailable, wasting your time. It's over. Pay attention to your health at this time and be careful if someone's sneaky in your life this week. Okay, so we're going to take a look and see what the energies are and what you need to do about this. Go ahead and smash that like button and do subscribe. All right, let's get into this.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being like.
Okay, Virgo, let's take a look. Move on. I don't know who you're dealing with. If you're still dealing with someone, Virgo, your message this week, you still got a door open to someone. Perhaps you gotta get rid of the crack in that door. Change the lock, change the key if you must. Whoever you're dealing with, it's a waste of time and you need to make it be over. That's the message. Let's take a look and see what Spirit wants you. Yep, there's the world. Time for a new chapter, Virgo. You can look back one more time, but do it just to make sure you didn't leave the door open at all or a crack in the door, okay? There's a whole beautiful new world out there waiting for you, and Spirit wants you to go, go, go. Just move on from this situation. You keep that door open, there's a draft, there's a breeze, you're going to catch a cold as the weather changes, all right? Yeah, somebody's just breadcrumbing. Okay, somebody is just not available to give you all that you need. And this is just a habit for them. This is how they are. This doesn't mean that you're not worthy. This doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. They came in this way. Okay, and if it seemed like when they came in, they weren't acting like that and they were actually doing the opposite, it's because that's what emotionally unavailable people do. They feign emotion because they want to make connections, but they can't sustain the connection. Okay, so they breadcrumb, and they're actually, because of their emotional unavailability, it puts them in what they think is a position of power. So everyone's begging for their attention, and maybe that was you at one time. It doesn't seem like it's you anymore. I feel like you're kind of like, take a picture, it lasts longer, and shake your little booty on out of there, Virgo. That's the message there, okay? You do not deserve breadcrumbs at all, because some of y'all are taking that breadcrumb and building a loaf, and that shit's going stale, Virgo. Yeah, look, you deserve better. Some of you were hoping that this was going to turn into a happily ever after, or you thought it was. You know, it doesn't, look, it probably started out that way, and they probably got you thinking that, oh, we're going to have a happy family, maybe we're going to have kids, you meet my family, or you guys went and did all that anyway. And then after however long, then they just started coming up with excuses or reasons why they couldn't be available for you in whatever ways it showed up. Don't put your rose-colored glasses on anymore. Take them off. It's time to take them off and see this person for exactly who they are at this time in your life, how they're behaving, right? And I feel like you have more power in this situation than you think you do. Okay, so Spirit is trying to tell you, especially this week, if you are in doubt and you are not sure, then hey, move on this week then, if you can only do a week at a time. Okay, the lesson is learned. The goal has been completed. You have learned the lesson, and now it's just a matter of closing the book. Okay, you've already read the book. You've already been through every chapter. Okay, it's time to open up a new book here and start all over, because after the world comes the Fool. That's the restart of the Tarot's journey. Fresh hope, taking new chances, having a new path and a new adventure and new beginnings. And it's a beautiful, fresh, clean slate for yourself. No more wasting time with someone who is just trying to keep you hooked or giving you mixed messages, or, just kind of, it feels like a person that has a commitment issue. Okay. I don't feel like they came in that way, but they kind of turned into that. So what is the issue? The issue is they can't commit to a full-on relationship with you or anymore. Okay. And they can't commit to letting you go. So that keeps you stuck in the middle, right? Because they're probably telling you things that, oh, well, I want you in my life. You're so special to me. I want you. I don't want to lose you. You know, I'll do this. I'll do that. And then they don't do this. So they do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And it's just kind of keeping you a little bit like a placeholder. And the clock is ticking. You know that clock is ticking. And you know that time is speeding up. I actually think time is speeding up. The more you're sitting on your ass, the more time speeds up. So when you're active and busy, you really don't have time to look at time, right? So I feel like this is a really strong message I'm getting for you, about this person, all right? And more so about what you need to do, okay? Yeah, I don't know if this person was just real slow coming in. Whatever. I don't feel like this person has been on your timeline. Excuse me. Every time I talk, it all starts again. I don't feel like this person is in alignment with you. And you've got bigger fish to fry in life, Virgo. Okay, you have bigger fish to fry. Have you already moved on from this person? Somebody here has. Somebody has said, been there, done that already moved on. And you're already in a winner's position now because of that. That's how you actually win, is by actually moving on, right? And I know some of you are like, well, it's not that I wanted to be a winner. I didn't want to win. I just wanted the relationship to work. Well, that's okay. You know, you can want that and still be a winner and move on. How about you just take both? How about you just have both? Okay? You can still feel the feelings that you have for the person, but understand that the dynamic of the relationship, for some reason, you know, just because you loved doesn't mean your love was invalid, okay? And I feel like when you're dealing with people who are emotionally unavailable, there's an avoidant aspect going on there, and there's just nothing you can do about that. You know, and if you walk away, you better walk away for a really long time if you're hoping for them to actually have any kind of a chance to really take you seriously and believe that they actually are going to lose you forever. You can't just be like, well, I'm going, and then come back. Or I'm not dealing with this, and they tell you they're going to fix it, and then you let them come back and then repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat, you know. You have to actually be gone. And some of you have already done that. You know, some of you already like moved on. You're like, yeah, I already opened that door, packed those bags, took them out to the car, and took off. Okay, and for those of you that did that, that's where you are now with the Six of Cups. That's where you're at right now. You may not feel like it, but it is. Okay, this is victory for you. This is success. And you should receive a master's degree for everything you've learned, okay? You really should. You should actually just go in, create a PDF of a master's degree, and give it to yourself for all the lessons that you have learned. You have graduated. And for those of you that haven't yet, this will be the outcome for you, I promise. Okay? And then you need to also print out a master's degree for yourself. You are the master of lessons, okay? And you need to print that out and hang it up in a gold frame and celebrate for real. All right, let's take a look. So this week, that's what Spirit's saying. I'm getting it from them that it's time for you to actually congratulate yourself for moving on and know you did the right thing, or to take the steps to begin to move on. In other words, it's over, okay, for you. Is it over for them? That remains to be seen. All right, you also have health, okay? So, you know, part of this moving on is now paying attention to your health, your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, your well-being, okay? Health issues could arise after moving on. I know this looks kind of scary, but I don't feel like that's the message there with anything to do with the heart. That the heart you might have a little bit of a broken heart for a little bit because you're going to have to grieve something. That's fine. That's part of the process, and that's part of the healing. And if you don't allow yourself to grieve, or if you have left and you didn't go through or complete the grieving process and let the person come back, and whether that's 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 times, you never go through the healing process. You absolutely need to go through the grief process of a breakup. You know, back in my day, and I'm sure a lot of you can account for this, you know, when we broke up, when we were younger, it was done. There was no texting. There was no social media. If somebody wanted to see the other person again, you had to know the places they went and show up there like a creepy weirdo, or you had to drive past their house and hide in a bush, okay, or you had to talk to their friends to find out what was going on, like in person, or call them on the phone. But it was so much easier to end relationships back then. But even now today, even for the ones who get left, even if you break up with them, let you know that I'm running a special right now on my personal private phone call readings. Everything is 50% off, Virgo. So you can get 50% off a predicted tarot reading call, only $40 for a 30-minute reading. You can do text readings. You can do a spiritual empowerment reading. But the 50% off ones are definitely the best by 1 hour for $99 immediately. You can get your readings with me like the next day. All right. Today, they're going to go through the same thing, right? There's no just easy, that's it, it's done, and you never see each other again, or you run into each other years later when you've been remarried and had kids. That's usually how it used to go. But even the person, like if you walk away from them, they're online stalking you. They're texting you from different numbers or doing, like it's all crazy stuff, and it happens on both ends. And it's like, come on, it's a lot of game playing. And that can affect your mental health, your emotional health. It feels like Spirit really wants you to pay attention to your health, because relationships that are not healthy can affect your health in all of the areas. Right? And everybody knows that, right? So look, you got to really put up some boundaries to protect your health this week, whether it's connected to a relationship breakup or you're doing something this week to improve your health. And it's going to take persistence, or you need to be persistent. So you may need to set some boundaries for yourself. Like, for example, maybe you're going to start like a workout program. Okay, maybe you're new to that. It could be. Maybe you're going to just start like, who knows, anything. You know, anything. It doesn't have to be workout. Or maybe you're going to just do something as the season changes, something you're going to get into that will, you know, whether it's mental health or physical or what have you. The Nine of Wands is pretty much telling you to stop, take a step back. Ask yourself if you can commit to this. And make the plans and set the boundaries where you know where your potholes are going to show up so that you don't fall off. This is what I'm saying. For some of you, this could have something to do with, like, you know, being very careful if you do end a relationship or walk away, or if you have, that you don't get into self-medicating, like over self-medicating. Okay? So there's a little bit of that playing out this week. Some of you might have been involved with like a very abusive, bully, violent kind of a relationship, verbal violence, or which it is. It's not physical, but it might be have an effect on your health. So you're going to need to pay attention to that when you're in those types of relationships. Believe it or not, they manifest physically, and some of y'all might be like have been in this and noticed as you were in the relationship, you suddenly got weird illnesses or body aches, or you started getting migraines out of the blue, or weird things started happening, and you're just like, maybe like, I don't know what's going on. These things could arise again after you're walking away. So it's really important to take very, very, very good special care of yourself. Some of you might be having, it's kind of a rebound effect. And that's part of the grief, part of the grieving process. Even if there's tears or you're crying, it's really healthy to let that all out. Some of you might have suppressed your tears and your emotions, and it might start coming out this week, okay? This isn't meant to be a heavy-duty reading. I know some of you have already passed this, and if you've gone through it, send something in the chat or the comments to let other people know what your experience has been and how you got through it, okay? Because believe me when I tell you, this too shall pass. These things, you do heal from them. You do. But you have to be in a healing modality. You have to let the emotions come up. You have to take care of your mental health and all that, especially even if it's you the one that is giving like a harsh breakup, you know? If you're going cold turkey, you're going to feel it, okay? So it's like pain now or the pain later. You can't escape it unless you self-medicate it away. But you really can't escape the timing of it. If it's unhealthy for you and it's not working out for you, you can stay in it and just keep delaying it, but eventually it's still not going to work out. If you're hoping for a miracle, all of a sudden, like unless your person gets hit, like walking down the street, piano falls in their head and somehow they survive it and it's a miracle and they have like a major wake-up call, then okay. But that is the exception to the rule. So don't go through life hanging on to hope, because that's like heroin addiction. Okay, if you're going to hang on to any hope for anyone, let it be for yourself, because you're the most important person here. Okay, and the Chariot is saying take action and make the changes, even if that means buying yourself a new car. Some of you need to do something with your car. I don't know what is going on with your car, but you got to do something with your car. You either need to replace it or you need to go and get that thing fixed that you've been putting off, okay? But this is action and change, and the Chariot is also about moving forward. Yeah, go on this journey. There's a car waiting outside, ready to pick you up, and I feel like Spirit keeps sending you transportation to get you out of the situation. You're like, nah, I got it under control. You can go. I'm staying. Well, it's coming back. The vehicle, God is sending a ship. Spirit's sending a car. It's proverbial, obviously. But it's like, come on, hop on, let's go. It's time to go. You know, and sometimes if we're not paying attention to the signs, and we stay where we are in bad situations, then we start getting mad at the universe, and we're like, what's wrong with me? No, you're not paying attention to the signs, okay? Here's the driver. They're coming to pick you up to get you out of this, get you far away from this. It's like a little bonus. You're getting a little ride. You're getting a little ride, and you need to take the ride. For some of you, my gosh. I just heard some of you have a connection to like a paramedic or an EMT, emergency medical technician. I don't know, maybe that's you, or maybe that's the person that you have the connection with. Who knows, right? Some of you might. But judgment is here, like this is the final call. I'm telling you right now, this is the final call. If you don't take the steps to take care of yourself going forward, right? I don't know that there's ever going to be any change for you or change for this person. I mean, these are big steps. This for some of you, this is really tough. But there's an awakening. The awakening is going to happen once you really get going, for those of you who haven't gone, right? Once you get in that little chariot and take off, judgment's going to come down upon your person as well. If they were being disrespectful and not treating you well. And it won't come down on you if you're paying attention and you're acknowledging and taking accountability for your own stuff in the relationship, okay? If you're sitting there saying, you know what, I did a lot of things that were not good either, okay? And then I acted out of pocket, and that's not who I am. Judgment isn't going to come down. There's no sword's going to come down on you for that, okay? Because you're admitting it. But the ones that don't, and the ones that continue living, you know, consequences always come. It looks like you're giving some consequences. Therefore, you're not going to have. So don't worry like, oh, if I do this, bad things are going to happen to me. Or if I leave my person, they're going to go with someone else. Or, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But your concern, I feel like now the Spirit is trying to say that you need to save yourself before you're trying to save the relationship, because maybe you were trying to save it. There's a reason why you're moving on, right? There you go. Because it was conflict, drama, maybe even some abuse, okay? But there was a lot of drama and game playing for some of you. Not all of you, but challenges, Some of you might have tried leaving before, and for whatever reason, just didn't have the courage. Maybe asked for help with someone or went and stayed with someone in the past, and it was just like, or maybe that's something you're trying to do again, or that you're going to do for the first time. But the goal is peace of mind, serenity. Look, whoever, I don't know if it's that person, right? But somebody here is a liar. And they might be a liar in the sense where they could be returning, we'll see, to try to stop you this week from leaving, or saying, I'll do this, I'll do that. And the lies. Look, it's Pinocchio. Okay? And do you know why? Liars, you can spot it. You can spot the lies on their face, their facial expressions. You can't hide your micro expressions on your face, okay? Liars, don't listen to the words. Look at their face. Yeah, will their nose grow? Maybe. I mean, hey, that's an easy giveaway. But honestly, the facial expression, if you learn it, or if you pay attention to what you're seeing and trusting what you're initially feeling or seeing, you can spot a liar very, very easily. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So they might try to reconcile, okay, because the 6 can be about reconciliation or communication. They may try to get you back into a relationship with them. They may tell you that they love you, but it's like it's entrapment. You need to be careful of this, okay? I just feel like this week you really need to focus, and I'm not telling you to do this for the next 10 years. Just this week, focus on, I feel like Spirit is really the one telling you, but I'm like, yeah, that's right, I'm in agreement. Spirit's the one who's telling you to, at least for this week, go no contact. And then when you get to the end of the week, you kind of go, okay, I got through that whole week. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Let me see if I can keep going, and then add on another week. Okay? Okay? Because this person is extremely insecure. They play a victim. That's why they lie. They play the victim. Try to make you feel bad for them. You ghosted me. Why did you ghost me? Where are you? What are you doing? I love you. I miss you. I want to be with you. But, oh, I love you. You make me so happy. I just, be careful. Now, that may not be them as well. It could be them, but it could also be someone else in your life. That, when you start going through these changes in your life and you're like, wait, now that I know what the toxic energy looks like, now I'm seeing it everywhere. And some of you might be going through this phase, if you haven't already, where you're like, well, you're toxic and you're toxic and you don't get a car and you don't get a car and you don't get a call and right? So some of you might also be like, wait, now I'm seeing it everywhere. Once you start healing, then you start seeing the truth, and for some of you, your relationships, you're going through like this awakening. And some of your relationships, you might just be like, hold on a minute. Not only do I not want this past relationship because of healing, maybe some of you have been going through therapy or something and you're seeing things, but not only do I not want this past relationship, I don't want to be breadcrumbed, I deserve better. I'm also looking at, hey, this friend over here or this boss. I don't think I want to be involved with them either, because you start putting up these boundaries and you're like, when you start healing, it's like, whoa. I'm a fresh, sweet, fruity apple. I do not belong in a bag of rotten apples, because I will just get rotten as well. Do you know there's a saying, if you're constantly kissing frogs, hoping that maybe one of them will turn into Prince or Princess Charming, all that's actually going to happen is you are going to turn into a frog as well. The more frogs you kiss, the more you become a frog. I heard that and I was like, hey man, it's a little bit true there. But anyway, Yeah. So this person is, if it's them coming back, which it could be Gemini, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Taurus, Cancer, whoever it is. Possibility, yeah, you go no contact and they're going to try to reach out because they want homeostasis and they're going to try to put you back where they feel like you belong, okay? And they're going to play it up for sure. Expect that. Now, for some, it might just be a week. For others, it depends. It really depends. If you've done it, if you've left before, they're not going to rush back because in their mind, they're going to think, well, evidence has shown in the past that every time Virgo ends the relationship, Virgo either winds up coming back or is available to talk later. But if it's the first time that you're actually walking away and sticking to your guns, there's a good chance that might kind of shock them a bit and they'll try to reach out much quicker. Okay, so it really just depends. Everybody's situation is different. But, I just feel like there's a reason why you already left, and there's a reason why you're thinking of leaving. And if you're not thinking of leaving, and you're like, nope, I love this toxic shit. I want to swim in the toxic river with all the toxic fish, and I want to drink the toxic green river water, and that's where I belong, and that's how I feel about myself, and I don't deserve anything more, and I'm not listening to this, and I am not going to do better. Well, that's your choice. That's up to you. Nobody's telling you to do anything. I'm just letting you know that there's a better way. Yep. When you see the devil, you must rebuke him. When you see the devil, and then for some that might be a Capricorn. I feel so bad for Capricorns because it's like of all the cards to get, Capricorn gets the devil. Some of you I know are like they deserve it. Let's take a look and see what Chinese signs are here. What Chinese signs are showing up here? Okay. Year of the horse, the rat, the rooster, the ox, year of the dog, the snake, the pig, and the goat. Bah. I took all the rugs out of my my place. So for the hardwood floors, and now everything echoes. Everything is echoing, and I'm hearing everything, every sound, every horn, every bird. All right, you've got sword and rose, clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. Oh, yeah. And here comes the love call, Virgo. I'm telling you. I miss you. I've been thinking of you. Just wanted you to know. Haven't heard from you. Is everything okay? What's going on? Somebody has a cracked phone, cracked screen. Is everything all right with you? And this is a temperature check, right? It's a temperature check. If you already told the person, if you've already had the conversation that you wanted a committed relationship, or you needed, or it's just not going that way anymore, or you got married and things have changed with them, or if you've already set boundaries with them and then they're calling back acting like they don't know what's wrong, then I don't know if either you were with a 5-year-old that can't comprehend. I mean, I don't even care how you said it. If you were critical, if you were kind, it doesn't matter. If somebody is, because the right person for you won't even put themselves in a position to lose you, so you wouldn't even have to deal with that. But sometimes we do have to set boundaries because in relationships, but they're not major. Usually it's like, babe, listen, I love you, but every time you come in the house with those muddy shoes, can you please leave them outside? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, because you're messing up the floor, and then I got to clean it, and you're not doing it. So you can just leave them outside. Yeah, no problem. Leave them outside. And then the second time they do it again, and you're like, hello? I thought we had this conversation. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot. And then you're like, okay. But then they do it the third time. That's it. You're not reminding them anymore. You take those damn shoes and throw them in the garbage. And you can walk barefoot for all I care at this point. You can go to work barefoot. In fact, you can move the hell out. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Because at that point, I mean, unless you know they have like like they're deranged or something in their brain, or like they're elderly and they have Alzheimer's or senility, that's different. Or if it's like a 5-year-old, I mean, but even like a kid can pick up on learning. So what is it then? If they're just disrespectful, they're just like selfish and thinking about themselves, right? So ain't nobody got time for that. I got the bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. I love her. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Okay. Here you go. O-E, O-E, O. All right. O-E, I, X, U, R, H. Ursula? I don't know how much. I mean, here's your ex. Hey. But I just don't know, like, or some of you just, you need to exit. You don't have the T yet, but you're on your way. Excalibur? I just heard. What the heck does that mean? Somebody's a hoe. Maybe your ex is a hoe. All right, you've got Gemini. You have birthday, 26th. You have the 2nd. You also have the 6th as well. You got a P. You have Taurus. Oh. The 20th. Somebody's birthday is on the 20th. So it was birthday on the 20th. Happy birthday. The 17th. Somebody is 60. Okay. 10-10. All right. You have the 10th, and you also have October 10th. And the other signs you have are Libra, Sagittarius. Let me get a couple more signs, narrow it down. Libra again, Capricorn, Pisces, and Aquarius. Somebody's birthday is February 10th, I'm getting. Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, and Leo. Okay, these could be the people you are dealing with. And a couple more numbers. You have the 25th and the 11th. All right, Virgo, let's get your charms. Okay. So you have a taffy, right? You want to lick? Psych. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. Because you got, or popsicle. Like, you got somebody who keeps showing up to the ice cream truck with no money to invest in an ice cream. That's what you got. That's what you're dealing with. And I say that metaphorically. You got someone showing up for all the tasty goods, and they want to have a sample. But they don't have what it takes to invest for the real thing. You know what I mean? They just come in like a taste tester. They just want samples. And some of you, that's what you're doing. You're giving it away for free. And you keep giving samples. And anybody's going to go for a free sample. I mean, you got to be out of your mind to not take a free sample, right? You're walking through the grocery store, and they got some like cooked meat, barbecue meat. They cooked it up real good, and they want you to try it because they want you to buy it. Some of you are just like, no, you don't have to buy it. Just take it all. Just take all the meat. Just eat it up. You don't have to buy a thing. They're hoping that because it will taste so good that you will, but some of you are not requiring that. Why are you giving out free samples? Your time, your effort, your energy to anybody. Who deserves that? You deserve to give that to yourself. And well, I don't want to buy any ice cream. I don't like ice cream. I just want to have a sample. Well, okay. Well, maybe you actually prefer chocolate covered banana. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe you're on the other side. Maybe you're playing for a different team and you're just kind of acting like you're here with me, acting like you're straight, or vice versa. Do you know what I mean? All right, I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe my spirit guide is an ice cream truck driver. I don't know. So you also have the infinity symbol, and that's a message to you. Understand the law of physics. What comes around goes around. What goes up must come down. This is physics. You walk away from somebody because you're done with the relationship. Oh, they're going to know at some point. They're going to feel it if you're sticking to your guns. Because they might be, after a while, reaching out, calling you like crazy. And they're going to go through like the whole gamut of, oh, I really miss you. And then you don't answer. And then they're like, why aren't you reaching out? What do you think? You're too good for me? And then they're going to reach out because you're not answering. And then they're going to reach out. And then they're reach out to your friends. Try to find what's going on. Then they're going to start getting angry. And then they're going to start trying to get a message to you or something of how much of a terrible person you are. All the while, they may be with somebody else. And like, what is that? You know what I mean? If they're with somebody else and they're still freaking out over you, I mean, that's psychotic. Because when usually, when relationships end and then we meet somebody else and then we go down our happy trail with someone else, we're done with the past. And we're just like, that was an experience. Learned a lot. Not going back. Happier over here. But who are these people that are just like acting like that's what they're doing, but now they're still coming because they're trying to get access to you for some weird reason. I don't know. Be done with it if you're ready to be done with it. There's better out there. And there was a reading last week, I think it was, or over the weekend, you were going to be meeting somebody new. And I know a lot of you don't want to like leave someone because you don't want to be alone, but you don't have to be alone. You can be done with the relationship and then get on your purpose because you've got to replace it with something, okay? A lot of you can't stay where you are, especially if it's very unhealthy and damaging to your soul. And you got to get out of it. And what are you going to do with yourself when you're out of it? That's when you got to get on your purpose in life. What is your purpose? What are you going to do differently now? What are you going to get involved in? Go back to school. Go do some kind of hobby or something that you enjoy. Go into it full force. And that's not avoiding your grief, but that's just so you don't sit and ruminate. Because a lot of you call me and you're like, why I can't stop thinking about it? Because you're not busy. Because you're not keeping your brain occupied. It's okay to once in a while think about it, but when you're constantly ruminating on someone, it's because you're not on your purpose. When you're on your purpose, you're thinking about your purpose. Yeah. By the way, you got money coming in. Good for you. Some of you have been manifesting the money and it's been coming in. And when it's coming in, and after it comes in, make sure you thank Spirit. If you've been asking and saying, hey, show some gratitude. The more gratitude that you begin to show and have for the things in your life, the more of that will actually it manifests and it doubles and triples and starts coming into you even more. The more, if you receive a bit of abundance, the key to getting more of it is to being grateful for what you have. Be grateful for that abundance and saying, wow, look at all this that I have on my table. Thank you. I'm so grateful. And you know what? Spirit's like, you love it? All right. We're going to bring you more. Yeah, we want to make you happy, Virgo. And you love this. And we feel good that you love this. So we are going to bring you more and more and more of it. But if you're like, this ain't enough for me. I'm not happy about this. I need more. They're going to be like, oh, is that so? Oh, really? Okay. We're not good enough for you? What we gave you is not enough for you? It's not going to work? Okay. Well, how about we just not give you anything else? How about that? Spirit doesn't play. What you put out there, you receive back 10 times. Your gratitude, what you're grateful for, it comes back to you. Anyway, they're giving me the name Pixie or Pixel or Pixie or Pixar or Pix. I don't know. Anyway, that's your reading. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you book a reading with me, you guys. I I have like the first couple of days slots filled, but there's some extra slots this week that are still open. $40. You saw I was going to get a sponsor, but I said, no, I'm just going to sponsor myself. So I'm putting out my own stuff. So yeah, if you want to book a reading, 50% off everything. You already saw it. So I look forward to actually getting to talk to you. It's one of my favorite things about doing this is when you book a reading and we get on the phone, we have a hot time. So definitely get on that booking site. Link is in the description box below. Smash the like button and do subscribe if you enjoy my readings. And yeah, I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Bye.